Now transmissions, I have a 13-speed. You know, with modern engines, I don't believe you need to have many speeds now, because engines are very versatile. When you go uphill with a heavy load, they keep pulling in the top gear all the way to 11 or even 10,000 RPM. You know, so I would go now with a heavy-duty 10-speed. You know, rated for the torque of the engine. There's a 10-speed Eaton transmission called 2910, I think, or something. But I mean, it's the first two digits, it's the torque. 20 means 2050 pounds of torque, and the rear two numbers are amount of forward gears. I think it's 2910 or 2310, I forgot, but I know Eaton makes a transmission like that. It's lighter. You gain like 200 pounds compared to a 13-speed, you know, and it's more durable, it's easier to fix, it's cheaper. So I don't know, automated transmissions are still too expensive to fix, and they add a whole bunch of money towards the cost of the truck. I don't know. You know, like when you're cruising on, the most frequent thing you do in the truck, you cruise on the freeway with your cruise control, right? So it doesn't matter when you're on the freeway, it does not matter too much what kind of transmission you have. That's why, you know, I believe in manual transmissions in big trucks. But by the way, speaking about the dashboard and gauges, I would get all the gauges, like the maximum amount of gauges. You see, like my truck didn't have anything. Like I even had to put in this, paid a whole bunch of money for this PSI turbo boost gauge, and you see that number 0, that's what you want to see, because that means that I'm hardly burning any fuel now. I'm running very slow because I'm empty. I'm heading home. It's 91 kilometers an hour, 56 miles per hour. I don't want to do anything, you know. I'm trying to save some fuel, and when it's 0, that's what I love to see. And if you remember when I was talking about Alberta, that's where I burned a ton of fuel. Going like this at a very slow speed on a straight stretch road, this number here was like 30, 35 because of the wind, because of the very low temperature. Now I can only guess how many miles per gallon I was doing. If I was doing 3 miles per gallon, I don't know. So anyway, so we talked about dashboards, transmissions, engines. So for sure the engine should be the highest torque rating. Don't listen to any salespeople that don't know anything. The truck is made to pull, and it pulls more efficiently when it has high torque rating. Disregard horsepower, go for slightly longer wheelbase than usual, but I mean not like I'm saying 244, you know, not something monstrous, because then you have too heavy truck. Because the lighter your truck is, the more load you can carry, right? Go for something aerodynamic. As far as brands go, they're all pretty much the same, but I would look at the statistics and in the trucker paper. Usually somewhere on the front page, I think they post numbers. I think Freightliner is the number one best-selling truck, so that means that it's easy to find parts, and the dealers are everywhere, you know. Personally, I like International and I like Freightliner Classic. But that's just me. But if I was getting a Freightliner or a Western Star actually as well, I would go for Detroit. Very nice engine with the highest torque. And if I would get an International, I would get a Cummins because they don't offer Detroit. Cummins with like a 16-liter engine with 2,050 pounds of torque. So hope this will give you guys some ideas what to look at when you spec a truck or you're buying a truck. Or one more thing, it's actually very important. I'm glad that I remembered this. Axle ratio. You know, axle ratio determines what speed your truck will be efficient at. So make sure you don't choose the axle ratio that is too fast, because a lot of guys like driving fast, but then, you know, you have to downshift when you're somewhere in the city driving 55 miles per hour, or let's say construction zone. You know, I tried 342, and it did not work for me because I like driving, you know, kind of slow. Like the fastest I go is maybe, I don't know, 62, 65 miles per hour, but I do that only once in a while. So I tried 342, and I had a heavy load in Northern Ontario, where they have lots of hills, kind of very, you know, the terrain is very bad in terms of, you know, mountains and grades, and that 342 just didn't work for me. You know, I had to downshift all the time. I was either driving too fast or too slow. I think the most practical, oh, and before that I had 373, that was too slow. So I think nowadays the most the best kind of a compromise between speed and torque would be something like 355 or 358, you know, depending on the make. I have 358 right now, and I'm quite happy with it. You can always fine-tune your speed by changing the tire size. Like, for example, now my tires spin at 520 revs per mile. They're very low profile, and if I just want to you know, increase my speed, next time I have to change my tires, let's say in a couple of years, I'll just go to a tire that spins let's say 510 revs per mile or 512, because that's what I used before, Yokohama 512, and that would increase my speed at the same RPM by you know 2, 3, 4 miles per hour, you know. But so yeah, 355 or 358 I would say is the best one to pull. So remember, especially if you haul heavy loads, just don't go for something fast like a lot of guys do, like, I don't know, 320, 336, you know. I don't know. You don't make money when you fly, you know, in a big truck. You make money when you pull loads at the lowest cost possible, and your #1 expense when driving is fuel. So the slower you drive, the less fuel you burn, and the more money you keep at the end of the month. So thanks for watching. This was Sergey Drachev from Sawai, Nebraska. Oh, exit 395 on I-80. I think I'm somewhere not too far from what is it, Omaha? No, Omaha is still probably an hour away. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.